So I'm answering the question from 8.3. Consider a time when you were uncertain if you really experienced an event or only imagined it. What impact did this have on you and how did you resolve it? Um, so for me, I'm thinking of an example that it wasn't actually something that I might have imagined, but it's more of like I'm not actually sure if I remember it because it happens a lot in terms of childhood memories, like early childhood memories, because in my family we have a lot of baby videos and we kind of quote them incessantly at each other because we've seen them so many times. Um, and I was thinking about this a lot, like last time we were talking about it with my parents, and it's kind of really hard to see which ones actually stick out in my memory. Like I can remember being in them versus just watching the videos and therefore like putting myself into that memory as opposed to like really remembering it as it was. And it's really hard to actually tell the difference between moments that I remember living and I remember experiencing versus moments that I just saw on film years later and then remember seeing the moment but not actually remember being inside of it. So that's one example for me. And it's kind of like as when it comes to resolving it, it's one of those things where oftentimes, like if I think really hard and if I try to remember, okay, what happened after, the video cuts out, what happened before, what was the context of this conversation or whatever. For some of them I can remember and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can actually remember being in this situation. I remember what happened before, I remember what happened afterwards, and then I go and like ask my parents to confirm it or whatever. But other times I realize that like the only context and the only information I can remember is what I saw on the video. So I don't actually recall being in that situation. I just recall seeing myself in that situation.